so I never knew David Bowie was going to die so soon, right after his birthday. My deepest condolences to his family, his wife, his son, his daughter, all of his loved ones. I know they're going through a very hard time, whereas we're fans of his music, and I know there are millions of David Bowie fans watching YouTube videos all day, going through the grieving process. This video is just me saying thank you, David Bowie, for all that you've done over all these years. And I've been a fan of Bowie for a long time. I do remember watching Labyrinth in the 80s when it came out. And I love that movie. It's an amazing movie. He did an amazing job. To be honest, as a kid, I thought David Bowie was an actor. I was introduced to him through Labyrinth. So I always thought he was an actor. And then I started hearing some of his hits. His 80s hits are probably Let's Dance is probably the first David Bowie song I ever heard. And then I started listening more and hearing his 70s extreme hits. I love the Kurt Cobain version of The Man Who Sold the World. But as much as I love that version, and believe it or not, I heard that version before I heard David Bowie's version. David Bowie's version is hands down amazing. The chorus at the end, the singing at the end, phenomenal. Thought it was interesting Kurt chose that song because it talks about the afterlife, pretty much. And now David Bowie is in the afterlife. I know he appreciated that cover that Kurt Nirvana did of The Man Who Sold the World. And as far as Blackstar, I'm really glad I pre-ordered this because I wouldn't be able to afford it. The prices people are charging for it. I'm never going to sell this in a million years. I'm going to cherish it forever. I wish I bought all 3 posters, but I'm happy to have gotten that one. And that still is my favorite poster of the 3. As many have said, he knew 18 months ago. I read a cool comment on the Blackstar or the Lazarus video. The comment said, when David Bowie is told by his doctor you have 18 months to live, David Bowie grabs all of his instruments and says, let's record an album. Because that's how much he loved music. That's how much he loved giving back to the world. He could have easily been in seclusion. I've been thinking about Bowie for the past 2 months. I've been researching Bowie for the past 2 months. And everywhere I looked, Bowie was everywhere. I'll give you an example. I did a podcast on Nikola Tesla. I read this book on Nikola Tesla. No matter where I looked, and I already saw this movie, but I thought it was interesting that in the very back of this book, when I was done reading it, there's an awesome, huge 2-page picture of Bowie as Tesla in the movie The Prestige, 2006. Very cool movie. I remember watching this in the theaters and thinking, Bowie must be a huge Tesla fan. And I'm a huge Tesla fan too. Tesla was a genius. David Bowie was the Tesla of music. Tesla was the David Bowie of science and inventing. They both went above and beyond, and they both had a channel to infinite intelligence. David Bowie's channel was flowing even in his last days. He filmed Blackstar video and the Lazarus video last year. But I'm glad he was in good enough health to record those videos, because I'm sure his doctor might have said, I don't recommend you having 2 long sessions in the studio or recording music videos for days on end. But Bowie gave his all. He gave everything. And I feel like I had some type of psychic... Why was I researching Bowie? This is a channel for paranormal mysteries and the unknown. This is a channel for investigating things, and some of them are hoaxes, but I'm leaning more towards non-hoaxes. Like I heard that David Bowie saw the devil in 1976, so I researched it, read the biographies, read 2 different biographies, read every article on the internet I could on the subject, pieced some things together. When I watched Blackstar, the video, for the first time, it blew my mind so much that I knew there's a secret message in there. I tried to find it. I reversed the song. I looked at it at every angle. The number one mystery I had from that song was, who is he? He says, something happened on the day he died. Spirit rose a meter and stepped aside. Another one took his place and proudly cried, I'm a black star, I'm a black star. I always wanted to know who the he was. People said he was this guy or that guy, religious this or that. But I think the he is David Bowie. I think he's predicting that he's leaving soon. And someone's going to have to take his place now. Someone's going to have to be brave, but no one can replace David Bowie. He's irreplaceable. Maybe in 1,000 years, someone, an iota of the genius of Bowie might come along, but I don't believe in reincarnation. But for Bowie's sake, it'd be cool if reincarnation existed. But I thank you for watching. God bless David Bowie's family. Whether you believe in God or not, makes no difference to me. David Bowie's wife said God is real or something like that. And I know Bowie was not an atheist. Bowie was asked, are you an atheist? Point blank. And Bowie said, ask me in a couple months. So Bowie had an experience that caused him to not be an atheist. I personally believe Bowie had a paranormal experience, which is why I researched that did Bowie see the devil in 1976 so thoroughly. Because I think that might be one of the main events that caused him to believe in the paranormal, therefore believe in a potential God. I definitely believe in a higher power. I believe in karma, believe it or not. I believe in many things, but I'm also very skeptical. And I used to be the hoax hunter. I guess I still am, but I don't search for hoaxes anymore. I just search for the paranormal. If it happens to be a hoax, I'll mention it, but I'm focusing on non-hoaxes lately. And Bowie's masterpiece that he left us with, in my opinion, is more than just Blackstar. The Next Day. Check out every single track on The Next Day. The Next Day that Bowie released in 2013, is genius. There's a song in there that is not a hit that I think relates to the paranormal very thoroughly. I've never mentioned it, but I've listened to the song 1,000 times. It's clearly paranormal, at least mentioning an event that is paranormal related. And I'm going to talk about that in future episodes, but I'm never going to talk about Illuminati conspiracy bullcrap. You know, as much as Pyramar, the Illuminati puppet, would like to talk about David Bowie and the Illuminati, Pyramar says, that's stupid. That's stupid. I would never talk about that. That's disrespectful. Bowie had nothing to do with the Illuminati. Bowie did not worship the devil. Bowie was a nice guy. Leave him alone. You stupid idiot Illuminati conspiracy jerks. Leave Bowie and his family alone. Because it's disrespectful. Bowie was a genius. I became obsessed with him in 2007. Checked out his website, davidbowie.com, every couple months since 2007, hoping for a tour date. Never got to see him tour live. But he left us with so much content 26 studio albums. Trust me, there are Bowie songs I've never heard. And for those getting into Bowie recently, as of late, I'm not going to call you a bandwagon this or that. I'm not going to make fun of you. I haven't heard every Bowie song ever made. That's how many songs he wrote. And did you know he pieced his songs together? Like, he would write up some poetry, he would see a phrase in the newspaper, he would see a phrase in a book, and he would cut them out and like jumble them and make them random. And then he would throw them together randomly. And then later in his career, someone made a computer program where he could do it digitally, and he would click randomize, and he could. That's the reason why some of his songs are so genius. He said you get 3 or 4 ideas and you combine them, and they naturally go against each other. He said some magic happens, basically. So that was one of the genius things that he did. And you'll hear that in a couple Bowie songs here and there. You'll hear him say a phrase that seems to relate in no way, shape, or form to what's going on, but it's genius. Amazing writer, amazing musician, choruses and bridges above and beyond anyone else. Great taste. He discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan, SRV, is now greeting Bowie in the 5th, 6th, 7th dimension, whatever the dimension we go to when we cross over. Bowie is in another dimension with all the greats. Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, John Lennon, George Harrison, you name it. Bowie's idol, Little Richard. I believe family members greet you probably first, but then after you get oriented in this higher dimension, you get to see people who you admired. And as far as performing, I bet they want to just kick back and kind of relax. This is not a joke. I do believe when we pass on, we go into a higher dimension. I've already talked about having contact with higher dimensional entities. Not a joke. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm just going to point out some paranormal related aspects in some of his lyrics, and perhaps if I uncover another encounter, but I am still going to make that Jimmy Page paranormal episode of Occult Unmasked. And Bowie, I really am still absorbing his last album. I'm still absorbing it. I haven't absorbed it yet. I didn't even know there was a Clockwork Orange inspired song. It's Girl Loves Me. I believe Girl Loves Me is the Clockwork Orange. It's filled with the Clockwork Orange language, NADSAT. Can't believe I didn't pick that up. I'm a huge Clockwork Orange fan. David Bowie, I tip my hat to you. Most amazing performer, musician of all time. Someone said, hands down, David Bowie was the greatest solo artist, solo performer, solo musician ever. When you compare even John Lennon's solo work with Bowie's, no comparison. Bowie, now, if John Lennon lived as long as Bowie, perhaps things would be different. I bet they can definitely compare notes in the higher dimensions. Like I said, condolences to the family. Best positive energy and positive prayers in their direction. And I thank you for watching. More videos coming soon. I'm very appreciative of the subscribers. And I thank you again. This has been John Rasmus with the John Rasmus Channel. Be seeing you.